Welcome to the deep dive. We sift through the noise, pull out the key facts, and hopefully leave you feeling, well, genuinely well informed.
That's the goal.
Today, our focus is on Mizoram. It's this really captivating spot in India known for, its amazing culture, incredible hilly landscapes, and really warm people.
Absolutely. Think of things like the Chera Bamboo Dance or the Chapchar Kut Festival, so vibrant.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What's it actually like to go through something as tough as medical school in a place that's so unique, so beautiful?
That's precisely what we're digging into today. We want to get past the brochures and extract the really essential stuff, the practical details for anyone thinking about medical education there.
So we'll cover the colleges, the admission hoops you need to jump through.
And also what makes studying in Mizoram different, the culture, the geography, and how it all fits into the bigger picture of medical education across India.
Yeah, so whether you're an aspiring doc mapping out your future, or maybe a parent trying to guide your kid through this maze, or perhaps you're just fascinated, like me, about how this all works in different corners of the country.
This is for you.
Right. We aim to give you a clear, concise, sort of engaging picture of this specific medical world, get you properly informed without drowning you in data. Let's unpack Mizoram.
Okay, let's do it. First off, you really need to get a feel for the place itself. Mizoram is, well, different. Take the capital, Aizawl. It's not your typical city. It's incredibly colorful, and it's literally perched on these steep green ridges. You get these amazing views down into the valleys everywhere you look.
Wow, sounds incredible.
And the climate, outside the monsoon season, it's quite temperate, almost Mediterranean, surrounded by these lush forests. It's genuinely a beautiful place to live, not just study.
That sounds quite appealing, very different from many big city campuses. But it's more than just pretty views, right? You mentioned the culture.
Oh, absolutely. It's a huge part of the experience. It's mainly home to indigenous Mizo tribes, and their culture is, well, it's everywhere. You see it in the dances like Chera, that famous bamboo dance,
Oh, yeah.
and the big festivals like Chapchar Kut. But here's a key practical point for students. While Mizo is the official language, English is widely spoken.
That's a big plus for communication, definitely.
For sure. It eases that transition significantly. The local economy is mostly agriculture, rice, bananas, oranges, pineapples, and also handicrafts, especially bamboo and cane work.
Okay.
And something else that adds unique layer is its geography. Mizoram borders Myanmar and Bangladesh.
Interesting location. How does that impact students?
Well, it shapes a distinct regional identity, for one. But for medical students, it could mean exposure to different public health challenges, maybe unique disease patterns, or even learning about cross-border health issues. It adds a dimension you might not get elsewhere.
That's a really interesting angle, the borders influencing the medical training itself. Okay, so with that backdrop, let's talk MBBS. What's the pathway like?
Right, the actual medical degree. And here's a major point. Mizoram currently has just one medical college offering MBBS.
Only one.
Yes, Mizoram Medical College. It started relatively recently, back in 2018, and critically, it's a government college. There are 0 private medical colleges for MBBS in Mizoram.
Wow, okay. No private options at all. That's huge, especially thinking about costs.
Exactly. It really defines the landscape. So Mizoram Medical College has 100 MBBS seats in total.
And how are those seats divided up?
It's pretty clear-cut. 15% go to the All India quota, the AIQ. That's open to anyone from anywhere in India, no domicile needed.
Okay, 15% AIQ.
Then, another 15% are specifically reserved for foreign students.
Got it.
The rest, the big chunk 70%, is for the Mizoram State Quota. And that's broken down further into 3 categories. Category I gets 95% of those state seats, Category 2 gets 4%, and Category 3 gets the remaining 1%.
So for any Indian student aiming for any of those 100 seats, the only way in is through NEET UG, the National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test.
That's it. NEET is the single gateway, just like almost everywhere else in India.
And what about the cutoffs? What are we expecting for NEET 2025?
Okay, based on trends, projections for 2025 look like this. For the general or EWS category, you're probably looking at the 50th percentile, which is roughly a score of 144.
Right.
For SC, ST, or OBC candidates, it's likely the 40th percentile, around a score of 113.
Okay.
And for candidates with disabilities, PWD, it's the 45th percentile for general WS, so about 127, and the 40th percentile again for SC, ST, OBC, back to that 113 score.
Hmm. And what about the state quota specifically? Any insights there?
Yeah, this is really interesting, especially for Mizo students.
Yeah.
In 2023, the closing rank for ST candidates under the Mizoram State Quota was 11,180. What that practically meant was that almost every eligible Mizoram domicile student who cleared the basic NEET cutoff actually got a seat.
Wow, so if you're from Mizoram and you clear NEET, your chances are very high for that state quota.
Extremely high, yes. It makes it very accessible locally if you meet the minimum threshold.
Okay, so you've got your NEET score. What's the actual admission process like? How do you apply for Mizoram NEET UG 2025? Sounds like a few steps.
It is, definitely. First step, online registration. You do this through the official state counseling portal, which is called the SMAT 2025 portal for Mizoram.
SMAT 2025.
Got it. Then comes a really crucial stage. Choice, filling, and locking. This is where you list your preferred colleges and courses. Well, in Mizoram's case, it's Mizoram Medical College.
Right.
And here's a critical heads up. Once you lock your choices, that's it. You can't change them until the next round of counseling if there is one you're eligible for. So you need to be absolutely sure.
Oof, locking choices sounds intense. High stakes. Okay, what happens after you lock?
After that, the system does the seat allotment. It's based on your NEET rank and which Mizoram quota category you fit into.
Okay.
If you get allotted a seat, congratulations.
Yeah.
But the next step is vital. Document verification. You have to go to a designated center with all your original documents.
Like what kind of documents?
Your NEET admit card, your NEET scorecard, your 10th and 12th grade mark sheets. Very importantly, your domicile certificate to prove you're a Mizoram resident if applying for state quota.
Right.
Your caste or category certificate if that applies, ID
Yeah.
proof, passport photos, the usual stuff. Originals are key.
And the final step?
Paying the fee. It's a non-refundable application fee. Pay it online. For general OBC, it's $1,000. For SCST, it's $500, and for NRI candidates, it's $10,000.
Okay, that lays out the process clearly. Now, the counseling usually happens in rounds, right?
Yes, typically. For the state quota, you'll likely see round 1, round 2, and then maybe a mop-up round if seats are still empty.
And the All India Quota Counseling run by the MCC, that has its own rhythm.
It does. The MCC runs 4 main rounds for AIQ. Round 1, round 2, then a mop-up round, which they now officially call round 3, and finally a stray vacancy round to fill any absolute last remaining seats.
And you hear about free exit versus no free exit. That sounds important. What's the difference?
Yes, that's crucial for students to understand. Free exit generally applies to the early rounds, like round 1. It means if you're allotted a seat, but you decide not to take it, you can simply walk away without any penalty. You don't lose your security deposit, and you can still participate in the next round.
Okay, like a no harm, no foul situation.
Exactly. But no free exit means if you're allotted a seat in a later round, say round 2 or the mop-up round, and you either don't join or you join and then leave, you could forfeit your security deposit and potentially be barred from further rounds of counseling for that year.
Right, so the commitment level gets much higher in later rounds. You need to be very sure.
Absolutely. It's a point where decisions become binding and have consequences.
So thinking about 2025, what are the likely timelines for all this?
Well, the NEET results came out June 14th. Mizoram's own MBBS admission process is expected to really get going from the last week of July into the first week of August 2025.
Okay, and the All India MCC counseling.
That's already been happening. Round 1 registration was July 21st to 28th. Choice filling was July 22nd to 28th. Seat allotment happened July 29th, 30th. Results out July 31st, and students had to report to colleges between August 1st and 6th.
Right.
And interestingly, as of today, August 9th, 2025, the MCC actually extended the choice filling period for round 1 slightly, so things are actively moving right now nationally.
Good to know it's dynamic. And just circling back to costs, you mentioned Mizoram Medical College is government run. What's the annual fee like?
It's remarkably reasonable, especially compared to private colleges elsewhere. The annual tuition fee is approximately $79,150.
$79,150. That's definitely a major plus
A
point.
huge factor for many families, yes.
Okay, so that covers MBBS pretty thoroughly. But what about other medical fields, like dentistry, BDS?
Right. For anyone interested in BDS, it's straightforward but perhaps disappointing. Mizoram currently doesn't have any dental colleges.
None at all, no.
So aspiring dentists from Mizoram, or those wanting to study dentistry there, would need to look at colleges in other states.
And what about Ayush? You know, Ayurveda, homeopathy, Unani, Siddha, naturopathy, BAMS, BHMS, etc.
Similar situation there, based on our sources. Currently, there aren't any AUH colleges in Mizoram offering those degrees either.
Oh, okay.
So again, students interested in these traditional Indian medical systems usually have to migrate maybe to neighboring states to find courses.
Is that likely to change?
Well, there's some positive news. The government apparently has plans in the works to establish AUH colleges within Mizoram in the future. That would be a significant development.
Definitely something to watch. And if someone is applying for AUish seats elsewhere via the Mizoram quota, how does that counseling work? Is it the same SMATI portal?
No, it's a separate process.
Yep.
For the state quota AUH seats, counseling is handled by Mizoram's Department of Higher and Technical Education.
Okay.
And for the All India Quota AUH seats, that's managed centrally by the AUH Admissions Central Counseling Committee, the AACCC.
Got it. And when would that typically happen?
The Mizoram State AUH counseling for 2025 is tentatively expected to start around the first week of September.
Okay. Now let's maybe zoom out a bit. We've looked closely at Mizoram itself. How does it fit into the bigger national picture? Why might a student from, say, Delhi or Kerala choose Mizoram for MBBS?
That's a good question. For students applying through the All India quota, several things might be attractive. First, the simplicity of having just one government college, Mizoram Medical College. It makes the choice straightforward within the state.
Less confusion, maybe.
Perhaps. Second, as we highlighted, the cost. That annual fee of around AI 30,000 is significantly lower than private medical college fees, which can run into many lakhs per year elsewhere.
A huge difference.
Absolutely. And third, those 15 AIQ seats offer a direct pathway. So for a student who qualifies through NEET and is looking for a cost-effective government MBBS seat, Mizoram presents a clear, viable option. The unique location and environment might also appeal to some.
Makes sense. Lower cost, clear option. But the flip side must also be true, right? With only 100 seats total and only one college, many bright students from Mizoram must look outside the state for opportunities.
Exactly. That's the reality. With limited in-state seats, many Mizo students inevitably compete for MBBS seats across India through the All India quota or in other states where they might be eligible. This throws them right into that huge competitive national pool.
And that competition varies wildly across the country, doesn't it?
Immensely. It really highlights the diversity of the Indian medical admission landscape.
Yeah.
We mentioned Mizoram's ST state quota closing rank was around 11,180 in 2023, quite accessible.
Right.
But compare that to, say, Assam, where the unreserved state quota closed around 6,386, or Bihar, around 23,682. Maharashtra was way up near 39,735 for unreserved, and UP around 20,930 for general. The variation is massive.
Wow. Those numbers really show it. So students' NEET rank means very different things depending on where they're applying.
Precisely. It forces students and their families to think strategically. It's not just about your score. It's about where that score makes you competitive. Do you aim for a top college in a high cutoff state or a solid government college in a state with slightly lower cutoffs?
Plus other factors too, I imagine, like location, college reputation.
Absolutely. Proximity to home is often huge. The specific college's academic environment, its hospital affiliations for clinical practice, the infrastructure, faculty, hostel facilities, food, and of course the fees, even among government colleges, can vary.
It leads to those classic dilemmas, right? Like, should I choose a brand new Ames or a really old established state medical college?
Yeah.
Or top Delhi colleges like MAMC versus VMMC?
Exactly, those kinds of choices. Or maybe IMSBHU versus AIMS Patna. Each has its pros and cons regarding fees, legacy, campus life, internal PG quotas sometimes. It's a complex decision matrix.
Definitely not just about the rank. And then, looking beyond MBBS, the competition continues, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Postgraduate specialization.
Oh, yes. Traditionally, that's been through the NEET PG exam, although a big change is coming. The next T exam, National Exit Test, is set to replace NEET PG, likely starting for the 2024 MBBS batch onwards.
Next T. Right. What's the idea behind that?
It's intended to be a single, standardized exam serving multiple purposes. It'll act as the final year MBBS exam, grant the license to practice medicine in India, and determine eligibility and ranking for postgraduate admissions. One exam for all three.
A major overhaul.
Huge. And beyond India, for those looking internationally, pathways like the USMLE for practicing in the US, the PLAB, which is soon becoming the UKMLA for the UK, or pursuing PG in places like Germany remain popular, but highly competitive options.
Each with its own set of exams and requirements.
Yes, requiring significant preparation, often language skills like German for Germany, and navigating complex application processes.
Yeah.
The medical career path is demanding right from the start and well into specialization.
This has been incredibly insightful. We've really gotten a feel for Mizoram's specific situation within the larger Indian context.
I think so too. To sum it up, Mizoram offers this unique, quite cost-effective MBBS path through its single government institution, Mizoram Medical College. It's definitely a solid option for qualified students, especially those eligible for the state quota, but also accessible via the AIQ.
And it really shows how deeply Mizoram is connected to the national NEET system while still having its own distinct character, its own advantages, and, well, the challenge of having limited capacity. It really highlights that diversity we talked about.
It does. Every state presents a slightly different facet of the medical education journey in India.
So as we wrap up, maybe here's something for you, the listener, to think about. We see how a place like Mizoram offers a specific window into becoming a doctor in India. How does understanding these local nuances, these state-specific realities, actually help you, whether you're applying, advising, or just interested, better navigate the whole complex, challenging, but ultimately rewarding map of medical opportunities across the entire country?
A great question to mull over. How does the local inform your navigation of the national?